Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most practical skills you can learn in English, how to actually make plans with your friends. We're going to break down all the essential phrases you need to go from just a random idea to a real solid plan. So let's jump right in. You know that feeling, right? You really want to suggest doing something fun, but then you kind of freeze and you're not sure what the right words are. It's a super common feeling, trust me. But by the end of this, you are going to have all the tools you need to do it with total confidence. And it's actually really simple. We're going to follow a 3-step process that looks just like a real conversation. First, how to suggest an idea. Second, how to say yes or a polite no. And finally, how to lock in all the details. See? It's that easy. So let's start with step 1, which is honestly the most important part, getting the ball rolling. How do you actually propose something to a friend? Well, it really just comes down to picking the right opening phrase. Okay, our first rule is super easy. It covers a bunch of phrases where you just add the simple, basic form of the verb right after it. You don't have to worry about adding to or an ing at the end. Let's see what that looks like. See that? All 3 of these phrases work the exact same way. Let's go, why don't we go, and shall we go. They're all followed by that simple base verb, which makes them really easy to use. You can almost swap them out for each other. And hey, here's a little pro tip for you. While you can use any of these, you'll hear shall we a lot more if you're talking to someone from the UK. It's a great little cultural tidbit that'll make you sound even more natural. All right, on to our second rule. Now with this next group of phrases, the pattern changes. Instead of that base verb, you're always going to use the verb form that ends in ing. Let's see which phrases these are.
It's always, how about going, or what about watching? Here's a little trick. If you start your sentence with how about or what about, just tell your brain to get ready for an ing verb to follow. It's like a package deal.
And our final rule for suggesting things is all about phrases that need that little word to right before the verb. We call this the infinitive. The best way to remember this one is that the phrase always comes bundled together with to. You know, would you like to is such a fantastic phrase to have in your back pocket because it's so polite and friendly. It works for everything. Asking a colleague for coffee, suggesting a movie night. It's just a really warm and great way to invite someone. All right, so you've put an idea out there. What happens next? Well, your friend has to respond, right? And that brings us to step 2, how to accept or how to politely turn down an invitation. When you're saying yes, it's pretty easy. You can be really enthusiastic. That sounds great, or I'd love to. But notice the right side. When you're refusing, the language gets a bit softer, a bit more indirect. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. Okay, listen up, because this is probably the single most important cultural rule we're going to talk about today. Just replying with a simple no to an invitation can sound really blunt, maybe even rude. Politeness in English often means you need to soften it a little bit. So how do you do it politely? Just follow this simple 3-part recipe. Start with something soft, like I'm sorry. Then give a short, simple reason, like I have to work. And if you can, it's always great to suggest an alternative. Okay, awesome. You've both agreed on something to do. That's great. But you're not done yet. The last step is to nail down the logistics. The when and the where. This part is just a quick little conversational dance. One person asks a question, like, what time shall we meet? And the other person gives a specific answer, like, let's meet at 7 p.m. It's that quick back and forth that turns your idea into a real plan. So you've seen all the building blocks. Now let's put them into practice to make sure all these rules really sink in. It's time for a quick practice round. Okay, first question. Take a look at this sentence. It starts with how about, so which verb form comes next? Is it to play, playing, or play? Take a second and think about it. Did you get it? The answer is playing. That's our ing rule in action. How about always needs that verb with an ing. How about playing tennis? Nicely done if you got that one. Let's go again. This time, the phrase is, would you like? So what comes after it? To watch, watching, or watch? This one's testing a different rule. And the correct answer is to watch. Remember, would you like is that polite phrase that always needs the to plus the verb. Would you like to watch a football match? Okay, for our last little challenge, let's complete a conversation. Sarah says, why?
We'd do something this afternoon. What's the missing word there?
Why don't we do something? But now look at the whole exchange. See how the next line uses our ing rule? How about going? And then the reply uses that classic polite refusal. I'd love to, but this is exactly how all these little pieces come together in a real natural conversation. And just like that, you've got it. The 3 simple steps and all the key phrases you need to go out there and make plans in English with confidence. You officially have the tools. So the only question left is, what plans are you going to make this week?